All right, so we'll hopefully we're rolling. We'll see. Let's see, we got this going. Well, good morning, everybody. Today's flight is going to be a simple one. Don't really have everything dialed in audio-wise. Um, got my OBS bot kind of hanging over here off the ceiling. We'll see how that goes, but we're sitting at the gate here in Fort Lauderdale, and we'll see what happens. Tune this in, make sure if there's anybody here watching that I can, well, let's see, maybe I can do it this way. Okay. Nope, let me turn that audio down, that's for sure. Where do you mute it? There we go. Get rid of all of this stuff. Why am I not seeing the chat? Let's see if I can turn that on. I don't know if there's a way to turn that on or not. All right, 1 minute to alignment, so we should be good. Let me do this real quick. Ident, pause in it, KFLL, page there. KTPA, Tampa, American Airlines, 751. We'll try requesting that and see what that does. Chat. Okay, hopefully that'll work. don't know how to see the chat on my I don't know how to get rid of all of that. Settings. I want to see the chat. I don't need all this other garbage stuff on here. I just want the chat. Let's see. Let's see if I go to my own stream. Well, let's try it on this one. There we go. That's strange. Okay. Okay, well I can see the chat on this one. Can't see it on my phone, I mean on my pad. At least not that I can tell here. Let's see. Okay. All right, well, we'll put that one down for now. So let's go to our flight planning here. And we'll close that. All right, so that's good there. We got it good. Yeah, unfortunately, until I can get GSX hooked up with my Stream Deck, I still have to use a bloody keyboard on the flight deck, which I totally despise. I don't really care. Can use Alliance. It says Southwest. That's not Alliance. Yeah, I think you're a little close there, buddy. Hey, man. What's happening? I think we're a little close on that. Interesting. Okay, let's stay focused here. We'll say we got the packs already in. Oh, let's operate the jetway. Okay, get that out of the way. All right. We'll wait and call for pushback in a little bit. So whoever's watching, if anybody's watching, if it's just for posterity's sake, so I am live streaming this with a single OBS bot camera in the back with just a single view. I'm using a lapel mic. I haven't got the OBS set up to record network and all that yet, so it's just everything's really crude right now. So just kind of bear with me if the audio is not ideal. All right, so the checklist. Thanks to Michael, Captain Mike, for his wonderful 737 NG series flow and checklist. All right, data sheet. Yep, we're going to get that right now. ACARS. And pre-flight, flight plan. Load. One-way point. Okay, departure. Let's see what we've got here. Gen right. Be nice to Cora. I like that. Be nice to Cora. Okay, originating checklist, dispatch load sheet. We got it. I do want to check on the way this is set up currently. Is the weather comes through VATSIM. Well, if I'm not on a VATSIM line, KFLL, then I'm not going to get anything. So I may have to log in. May have to log into VATSIM just to see if that's going to work. Yeah, see, I got nothing coming up because it's looking for VATSIM, and VATSIM is not online. Let me just go ahead and pre-file. I'll pre-file this online. I would say that one of the challenging aspects of a full-size cockpit is you have to have everything done before you get in here. I've got to load ProSim iOS, the instructor operating station, on the other PC, so that way I can access it through my tablet. Turns off the ground power, that sort of thing. I do all my pre-planning, pre-flight planning ahead of time. On that workstation, so it just saves the time from having to do it in here. Let's see. Okay, flight plans filed. All right, so that's good there. So now that I'm official, and I should be able to connect. 751. All right, well, there's no controller, so that's okay. What I'm really curious of is if, all right, there does not appear to be any controller providing clearance delivery service at your departure airport Kilo Foxtrot Lima Lima. Please squawk 4617 for your IFR flight to Tampa. 4617. All right, so we're squawking TARA. Blah, blah. All right, so let's see. So we'll pull this up in Navigraph. Good morning, Eric. How are you, sir? Audio actually sounds good. Yeah, please bear with me if I'm not answering you right away. I can see it down on my phone over here. So, yeah, can you let me know if you hear the sound in the airplane? Just like the hum sound. we'll get to that in a second. I just wanted to get my flight plan uploaded. Import flight sim brief. There we go. Doing great, bro. Just watching. It's all good. Keep my ears open. Okay, so yeah, let me know if you can hear any of the actual airplane sounds. I'm hoping you'll be able to hear when I go throttle. It's pretty. If you're here, it's pretty amazing. Okay, so let's continue with our check. So DC volts. If we're on battery, we're on ground. That looks good. Standby power switches are all guarded. Everything is guarded up here. I'm going to put my yard damper on. Alternate flap switches are guarded. Fuel pumps are all off. Wipers are in park. Hydraulics are off. Actually, they're all on. Yeah, the switches are cool. We do have the cabin utilities are on for the flight attendants, so that's good. Landing gear levers down. 3 greens. 3 greens. Fire warning. Okay, let's do that. Squibs. All right, so that all tested. Good. Cargo detect. Yep, that's good. Recall clear. And oxygen test. Flight recorder's good. Mock test. That's good. Window overheat. Yep. You got to turn these all off after the window heat, you have to turn them all off after you do the test and then flip them back on. So that's good. All right. So let's fire up the APU so we don't dilly-dally around too much. So APU start, low pressure indicated. We're going to put the aft fuel on for the APU, and we'll put our strobes on. Okay. Wait for the APU to spool up. I hear fire stuff. I hear dings. Cool. All right. That means you're hearing some things. All right. So as soon as the other thing we were working on yesterday, I had the audio engineer from Flight Simulation Center. Fortunately, they're able to connect through everything with TeamViewer, which makes it really convenient. So they can connect, and from Italy, they can control what they need to do. Anyway, they were working on the Bose. Apparently, the subwoofer under the floor is very sensitive, so we had to tweak it a little bit because I was getting a fault error in the Bose amp. So, all right, so we have APU power now. So I'm going to put the packs on. Okay, so now I'm getting, I don't know if you hear that kind of shh. That's the pack audio that we didn't have yesterday. And I got good pressure there, so that's fine. I'm going to put my A's on and my B's are going to stay off. That's a Southwest thing. All right, emergency exit lights are trimmed. Air conditioning panel is good. It's got everything in normal. CDU enter position, I did that. So, and the flaps are up. Parking brake is set. And exterior lights as needed. Just got that one on. I don't need anything else on right now. Okay, so that's looking good. Those are off from yesterday. The other thing that's challenging too, when you finish a flight, you have to be sure to, because every time it starts up in cold and dark as a fresh flight. So I got to make sure all the positions and all that are, switches are all in the correct position. Okay. So let's continue on. We are going to be departing runway 1 right on the Be Nice departure. All right, so departure Probably can't see much detail. I apologize for that. I'm thinking about another camera that I might mount up here that can have a couple of positions where it might be able to look down on the FMCs and maybe kind of look across. I don't know. Just kind of playing around with some ideas. All right, so one right. And the Be Nice and the Cora, was it? Yeah, Cora. Okay, we'll accept that. And then the arrival into Tampa is one left. That's one left. Bullfrog, I assume that's what that is. And the Cora. Okay. All right. That's all set. And at ref, we're going to request our departure data. Okay, and it automatically sets the fuel, so that's cool. So 11.4 tons of fuel, and that's already loaded, so that helps. And then I just execute it, clear the scratch pad. There's nothing in the second page I'm interested in. Now this is where it's critical that you set the TAT, the true outside temperature, because if you don't, then the auto throttle is not going to work correctly. I don't know if you guys mess with that much in how PMDG. I never really noticed it much in PMDG, and maybe that's just the difference between ProSim and PMDG. So I've really been using this takeoff and landing, not so much the landing, but the takeoff parameters. Performance tool inside of SimBrief pretty consistently. So this is where I'm getting my select temperature, which is 46. So 46 slash what I'm showing here is 18. That goes there, and that makes everything happy. All right, flaps for this departure is going to be 5, and then I get my CG from ProSim in their iOS setup. This instructor station is really pretty cool. It's got everything. I can basically control everything. I can turn off. See, now that I'm on APU, I'm still showing ground power available. I don't know if you can see that, but I can turn it off here, and now the light goes out. So that's kind of cool. But I can do other things like my fuel. I can change my fuel. I can do a lot of things with this that couldn't do with the PMDG. Maybe they can now with their pad, but anyway. So I get my center of gravity here, 21.1. Enter that, and then I can move on. And I just double check weights. Yep, that looks good. Now I can also go to my dispatcher here in the software, return that. We'll go to on the pre-flight and the weight and balance. And this is going to be 10 right. I'm curious what it's going to send. Okay, so it's given me all the detail as well, the 3 pages of detail in here. My en route fuel burn, my contingency, the alternate, the reserves, there's no ETOPS. Your weight at landing, your weight at takeoff, your block fuel, or fuel at takeoff, fuel at landing, block fuel. Your payload, 0 fuel weight, and all that. So I can even print that. So it prints all of that out too. So I've got that I can keep handy. And slip it up here if I want. There we go. Unfortunately, I don't have any, I'll try it again, but I don't think, because there's nobody here at VATSIM, that's kind of I'm going to have to do something about that, because KFLL airport send. Let's see, it's probably not going to come back with anything. No, that sucks. So I ended up going, there's another, I think you can set NOAA as the weather, so that way if you don't have VATSIM on, I would think it would just go to the VATSIM server and get it in the airport that you set, but apparently it doesn't. So I need to figure out an alternate source for ATIS, so I can always have ATIS in the airplane when I'm flying. Otherwise, I'll go to E6BX. Let's see, E6BX. And enter my airport, Kilo, Foxtrot, Lima, Lima, search. And winds are calm, 9 miles visibility, few clouds at 2,500, scattered 25,000, temperatures 18, dew point 16, altimeter tree 016. Yeah, this is real. This setup on this Barrow is exactly the way the real Boeing aircraft is. And when you get within 1 or 2 points of you can't really dial it in. I mean, it's super sensitive. It's not like a standard encoder that you just dial in what you want, like like you dial in a heading. It's not like that. You put pressure on it and you wait for it to react. And if you turn it real hard, it'll blaze through there. So that's not what you want to do either. But anyway, it's just taken a while to get used to. A lot of getting used to. But it's the way the real Boeing is, so I guess that's a good thing. All right, so departure set. Let's just get our B1, BR, B2. So 134 B1, 134 is VR, and B2 is 142, 142, and I'll go 142 plus 10. Assume we'll go 15, 10 or 15. All right, so that's all set. Let me do this, set my winds here, because if I don't, I'm going to do that. That's calm. All right, and this also has the information here. So the heading of the runway is 96, and there's no slope, so it's going to be 0/96. Headings 96. Okay, that's dry, that's true. So 4618, so that's all looking good. Okay, so legs, yep, that should be good. So we'll just run through this real quick. Vectors at cruise. Okay, yep. All right, that looks good. All right, so FMC programming is good. Don't think that's going to matter. No. Okay. APU bleed switch is on, left right packs auto, isolation valve is auto. Okay, that's good. Electrical panel check. That's these cabin utility and passenger seat power is on. IRS selectors, they're aligned. Emergency exits are set, lights are set, air conditioning panels required. CDU is done, flaps are up. That's been cross-checked and verified. Parking brake set. Okay, pre-flight. LFE devices. Okay, that's good. Phone switch is off. Turn the light on. Yep, that's off. Reverser, annunciators, those are out. ECC switches, they're on and guarded. Got lots of lights in here. That's have lots of lights in here. That's good. Passenger oxygen is good, and 16. Flight recorder we tested. I'll do it again. I went out of sequence. Okay, we did the stall warnings. Now here, if you're paying attention, I'll do the stall warnings are pretty nifty. Oh shoot. One sec. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, so the yokes are control loading. They're not connected physically with the linkage like some of them are. They're electronically linked, and the way each pilot flies is when you hit the AP disconnect and you take control of the yokes. So if the first officer wanted to fly the plane, he would push his disconnect button and he would take control over it. You can still move it, but if you notice when I move his, you don't see it moving on this one because I have control over the plane. If I push his disconnect, now he's got control over it and my yoke moves. So he's got control of the plane. And if I do it, see now his yoke doesn't move because I don't have control of the plane. Now it will still follow in autopilot. It'll look, stay connected, but I just can't control the plane until I press this button. Now I have control. So it's kind of nifty setup. All right, so let's do the stall warning. Cool. I'm not getting a red light from over there. That must be from the... All right, so that's the stall warning test. Landing gear position annunciators are good. PSU's out, that's here. Oxygen tested. So the oxygen test that you have like in the PMDG down here on the pilot and first officer side, just push the test button and you've got an oxygen sound. So that's pretty cool. That was something else they added. Lights test. That's good. All right, so controls check. Flight controls are guarded. Yaw damper is on. Navigation panel is normal, normal, normal. Display sources are auto. Control is normal. Crossfeed. Check the crossfeed. Goes bright then dim. That's good. All right. Equipment cooling is normal. Emergency lights, arms, and guarded. Passenger signs are on. Window heats are on and tested. Did that out of sequence. Okay. Yeah, probe heats they were on. They should be in auto. Ice is off. Hydraulic switches, I have them set. A's on, B's off. Southwest thing. Recorder test. Not sure what that does, but it push a button and the light comes on and goes out. Pretty cool. All right, so cabin panels checked, air conditioning is checked, bleed air. All right, so we need to get ready for pushback, I'm feeling. So they've got here recirc fans in auto. Yep, that's what I have them in auto, and then overheat test. Yep, wing body overheat test, good. Set the packs to auto, which they're in now, and then set the engine bleeds to on. Isolation valve and APU switches accordingly. So they start with even though the engines aren't running, they put them on. I guess that way when they are available, they kick on. It just don't, once I turn the packs off to start the engines, then I'll get my pressure back. Yeah. Okay, we'll leave the packs on for now. That's the audio that wasn't working yesterday that we've got fixed. So, all right, I did my ATIS. We're going to talk on, let's see, since this is a control field and we are on BATSIM, we should play by the rules, I guess. That's just was supposed to be at the gym this morning, but we're gonna wait. We'll go at noon. Okay. All right, so I'm just checking the messages now. I can hear the dings, fire on, star warning, stick shakers. Yep. Yeah, that's all. A lot of the other cockpits, they have a device that hangs off the back, but because these are all built into the electronics that control them, they can just do it through the system, so they don't have to have that physical shaker on the back side of the column. All right, so pressurization set. All right, so airport, too many things going on at one time. Let's see if we can get ATIS from the sim. I don't know, maybe. Yeah.
Aircraft tagged with my taxiway Bravo 10. Departing runway warning, runway 10 left shortened. Runway 10 left takeoff run available 8,000. Runway 10 left unusable beyond taxiway Bravo 10. Parallel operations are being conducted. Taxiway Bravo 11. Zone 2. A Seaton. A closed. Runway 28 right ILS out of service. Runway 10 right threshold lights out of service. Cranes and off the airport. Shoreline traffic. Numerous birds in the vicinity of the airport. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Sierra.
All right, we got.
Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood International.
All right, we got Sierra, so that's cool. Let's do this. Yeah, I get this little Freedom app on the iPad that I can use as a scratch pad, so that works pretty well. Okay. So I think they want us to be on the tower frequency. $119.3. All right, so let me check one other thing for my trim is 522. All right, so trim set there. Radio set, EFS control panel. We got the local pressure set. All right, flight director's on. That's good. Speeds, speed set, heading set 96. I don't think we're going to do that. Well, he may catch, but we've got to. Oh, it's initial. Okay, we should be good. I thought it was a vector. All right, set the clock. Nose wheel steering is guarded. All the panels are set. And then, good. Confirm the artificial horizon is set. Yep, check flags. Okay, that's good, that's good, that's good. We don't want anything on this. We don't want traffic. We don't want anything on his either. Okay. And one set to auto, speed reference auto, fuel flow reset. Auto, we don't have anything. We're not burning anything yet. All right. I'm just looking over this checklist that Mike put together because it's quite detailed, like all the way down to the FCOMs. All right, so let's look here. Oil quantities 18, that's good. We'll go systems. We have 2960 brake pressure and hydraulic fluids looking good. That's only because I have the A's on. If I put the B's electric on, yep, 2960, so we're good there. Set to auto, fuel flow reset, brake set to RTO. We did an instrument check for quantity of oil and fuel. Speed brake lever is down. Reverse levers are down. Do need to check this. Flaps are up. Park and brake set. Fuel cutoff. Stab trims are in position. Did the squibs test. Transponder is set to TRRA 4617. Rudder trim is 0. That's correct. And the aileron is set to 0. And we already did the, I don't know if I did this one.
Light slow. Pull up. Wind shear. Wind shear.
All right, so before pushback, 0 fuel weight set.
Brake.
N1s are set for 146. No V-speed set. Interesting. It cleared itself. So that was 134, 134, 142. All right, so V-speeds are set, both captain and first officer. Stab trim is set, 5.2, 5.10. Fuel pumps. Let's put the fuel pumps on. APU is running, and we need to get a pushback clearance so we can get this baby fired up. All right.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
There we go. That was one I thought I would have heard from her already, but she's a little late. Let's go, woman. All right, so we're in 19.3, and then we're going to set up 122.8 into, oh, not there, into comm radio, into our standby. I mean, this is going to be a quick flight. It's going to be up and down, so let's see. What is our cruise altitude? 28. Yep. 28. I'll put that as 100. So do we have any restrictions above 4,000? So I'm just going to, I don't think there's anything on this departure. I want my nose to the left. Above 4,000, above 4, yeah, so there are no altitude restrictions on this departure, so I'm just going to put it all the way up to 28. All right, that's set. Flight director's on, that's good. It's on map. All right. So based on where we're sitting on the airport, and I need to go one right, I want my nose to the right.
Release parking brakes, please. Commencing push.
All right, so packs off, and we're going to start number 2. There's 25. Fuel to idle. You still getting sounds there, Eric, if you're still on? I assume you're still on. There's 3 people on. Whoever else is on, hello, good morning. Thanks for stopping in to pay us a visit. All right, so we got a good engine start on number 2. Let's go ahead and start number 1. Are you hearing that? Can you hear the engine sounds is what I'm wondering.
Please set parking brake. Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
There's 25. Introduce fuel to number 1. Yeah, the sound is pretty epic. Not only can you hear it, but you can feel it.
Cockpit to ground.
Okay.
We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
The engine is quiet, but it can be heard. Yeah, well, it'll wait till I pour the coals to it. I think it'll be a little bit more. Okay, so I'll go to systems check. So packs on. There we go. Good start. And bus is on. We're starting there. We're going to go taxi lights. We don't need a wing. We don't need logo. That's good. So everything else looks good. All right. I'm going to go here and do progress on that FMC. Let's do a check.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Okay, that looks good.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Okay, so bye. All right, so Fort Lauderdale traffic, American Airlines 751 at Terminal 3, taxiing via Tango 7 to Hotel 5 to Juliet to one-way 10 right at Fort Lauderdale traffic. Okay. So we're good here. Everything's set up. Let me go ahead and kill that APU. We're going to go engines to continuous for departure. We don't need APU, so the dual bleed will go off. So everything else looks good. The probes are on auto, so they'll heat up if they're needed. Looks like we're good. So, and she's out of the way. All right, flaps 5 confirmed. Let's go. We're going to take a left at Tango, wherever Tango is. That's Tango there, so. I'm going to lose this. I'm sure you could probably see that window up here. I'm going to lose that here in a second. That taxi's on. And then a right on Tango 7, which is here. Well, let's go across it. Where are we going to go? It's November. Yeah, that's November. Yeah. I want to go left. That's Q. Yeah, that's fine. Q Juliet. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't done a bunch of fine tuning on the scenery yet, but that'll be coming up next. Fort Lauderdale traffic, American 751, holding short of 10 right, ready for departure. Fort Lauderdale traffic. All right, so let's look at this. All right. Before takeoff, yep. Let the flight attendants know. Turn it off. Exterior lights. Taxi's off. That's all on. We're set. Engine switch is continuous. Auto throttle. This is what I've been having a little bit of issue with, that it won't stick when I'm expecting it to for whatever reason. Transponder TARA throttles advanced 40%. Engage auto toga positive rate. All right, let's go. Yeah, I don't know what it is, why the auto throttle just it won't. It will once I turn if I hold it there, maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. I don't know. I need to read up some more on how the ProSim setup works. All right, 40%. And then toga. Airspeed alive. 80 knots. B1. Positive rate. Gear up. $160. Flaps 2. Flaps 1. All right, flaps up. You're off. RTO's off. 200. Tracking the bow. All right, we'll go Command A and let the plane do the rest for now. So, all right, after takeoff checklist. Looking good. Looking for 10,000 for lights. Passing the first waypoint, room. Okay. Hearing all the sounds. Yes, the engine is quiet. Yeah, sounded pretty cool vibration engines, which is, yeah, hopefully some of this will come through more when I get everything set up through the audio system. But right now it's just picking it up through my lapel mic. So that's what we got there. All right, let me lose this. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. All right, we're coming up on Bolu. Fort Lauderdale traffic, American 751 climbing out of 9,000 for flight level 280 on the Be Nice 2 at Bolu. Fort Lauderdale traffic. I love the wet compass. Pretty cool. All right, we're gonna go strobing steady. 10,000, lights out. Notify the flight attendants we're above 10,000 so they can do their thing. Double check the altimeter, the cabin pressure where it's set for 28,000 here. It's showing a climb, so we're looking good there. Pressurization's working fine. Yeah, this is probably the first comfortable flight I've had since setting this up. I really wanted the experience with Captain Tango, who, by the way, was just, what a phenomenal friend. Amazing guy. Flew over here, spent a week with me, putting all of this together. I mean, it just absolutely fantastic individual. Fantastic individual. But the flight we took, which I posted, was completely without sound, which was, and I was super stressed because I wanted everything to work and it wasn't working. And it wasn't FSC's fault. It was just, I mean, it's a complex setup with a lot of things that have to be tweaked for it to work ideally. And um, this was all set up with a PC at their factory, and I have a completely new PC. So things like USB settings, COM port settings, interrupt settings, different drivers because I got a different PC than they had. I mean, just little things like that, and then fine tuning the audio, the amplifier to get it working ideally. It just took a few hours to get things dialed in, but it seems like we got it. Some of the things that they've done for me that just off the charts great. Uh, I purchased these panels, which you can't really see, but if you look at the 737 main instrument panel, you'll see on your left-hand side of on the panel next to the main dimmer panels, there's a foot air, windshield air, and a little vent. Well, I purchased those off eBay, and they installed them. They wired these switches up. Um, these vents on the side, which are in most cockpits are fake. It's just a fake vent. These are actual vents, and they open up to the outside. There's a 12-volt power connection that I can hook up a fan. So I've got like a PC fan on the outside of the cockpit, and when I pull this switch, it turns that fan on and pulls in cool air from outside the cockpit into here. So it's amazing. I love it. So that was one of the things they put. They added the USB ports on both sides so that I could mount, flight, iPads on either side. That was nice. The realistic oxygen mask with the sound, that was not normal. That was not standard. The dual push button, which you'll see in the PMDG in Microsoft, you'll see it's got a mic and a clock button. Well, this is not standard. That's not a standard offering, so they added that at my request. Um, yeah, just extra lights here. They've got a chart light here, and a chart light here that I can control, and they've got a map light that can go, which is a official Grimes light that can go red or white, whichever you have want it set at. So yeah, pretty amazing. Good group of guys. Added the printer, the ACARS printer in here. We switched to MMR nav radios, which are basically, instead of encoder dialed in, you just enter the information in, which I'll do here shortly for my arrival into Tampa. And then the multi 737s, which you can punch in whichever frequency you want on here, 3 VHF, 2 HF, and an AM that you can dial in. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, so we're climbing out, still on the SID. Passing 18,000, we'll set the baro to 29902. And just for, let's see what the arrival, this says departure radius. Let's do this as Tampa. It's the Bullfrog, and we got the approach is going to be 01 left. All right, 01 left. The ATIS, that's departing ATIS. They don't have an arrival ATIS, that's interesting. The airport information, here we go. It's also departure ATIS, that's interesting. Anyway, 128,475. All right, too far out to here, so I'm going to put it on here and see if I can get it. 128. Put it on his. And put it on VHF2. And I'm going to punch in VHF2 here so I can listen when it does come in. So I can still listen and monitor the current frequency air traffic control, but I can also monitor the frequency on the standby, or not standby, but on the VHF2 on this radio. I could also punch it in on this one and have a complete different frequency. $28,475. 1,000 to go. So I've got VHF2 plugged in with the ATIS frequency for Tampa, and I'm also listening here, so I can have it plugged into two different radios, but I can listen on at the frequency that I need it to be. So this is interesting. All right, so we're going to switch over to 122.8 since we're at cruise now. And top of descent's not that far, so we'll get ready for our arrival here shortly. Okay, that sounds pretty cool. Can you fly on VATSIM yet? Yes, Pat, I am on VATSIM. All right, so that was my buddy Pat. Okay. See if he pops in over here. All right, so we're going to be looking at in Tampa the ILS 1 left, and the so I'm gonna get prepped and dial this in. 7. So at this point, when these legs are real short, these flights are real short, I'm keeping my eye on the top of drop. So I'm going to go ahead and tune that in here shortly. At least bring it in to 18 in case I get distracted as a single pilot. It'll at least start the descent, and then I'll look at the details. All right, so we're going to go to init ref, and we're going to set flaps 30 and 108.9. So here on the MMRs, I can set the mode. So this would be a ILS, and it's 108.9, 108.90, swap, done. You got an ILS, you got a VOR, so you can decide what kind of frequency or what kind of station you're tuning into. 0890, and swap. So both nav1 and nav2 are dialed in. Their flags will come up shortly. We're gonna go, I know I can do the checklist, but and then bug up on this, which I'm tardy. Yeah, Pat's asking me if I'm live now, and I'm telling him, yeah, I filed the flight plan, but I don't know. That's the least of my concerns at this juncture. Okay, so transitioning, so descent 10,000 or 18,000 rather, so bleed airs, all of that should be set. Double check the landing altitude. Touchdown is 54 feet, so we're gonna, I don't know if 50 is good enough. Let's see what the, one right is 18 feet, so yeah, we'll leave it at 50, so that's cool. Hey, Pat. Welcome. Yeah, hey, tell me if you mentioned, you asked if I was flying on VATSIM. Is it showing up on the VATSIM log? Because there's no controller, but I logged it, but I never checked VATSIM to verify. I did file the flight plan through SimBrief, so hopefully it's there. Okay, so we're going to be on the Bullfrog 2 arrival, and let's see what that's looking like. So landing 1 left from downside on track 321 to Jetstream, then above, then track 276 to cruise. Okay, we've started our descent. You can see the yoke's starting to move, throttle's pulling back. Let's see, we got any crossing. We need to be above 4,000 at cruise. So I'm going to dial this down to 4,000 because that's all we have to worry about it initially. Drag required. All right, so flaps are set, frequencies are set, heading set 7 on both, 108.9 cross-check verify radios, so we're good there. All right, so we'll go to legs, and we're about 87 miles out, so ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We've begun our descent into Tampa, and we're about 86 miles out, so we should be arriving, we should be touching down about 15 minutes. So I hope you've enjoyed your flight with American Airlines today, and you'll come back and see us soon. For the entire crew at American Airlines, we thank you for flying. Have a good day. All right, so I need check the ATIS. It's not tuning in yet, probably because we're still a little bit far out, but let me double check what this is showing, what E6B is showing. KTPA. Okay, so this is showing 0303 knots, visibility half a statute mile. Looks a lot better than that to me. Maybe the weather will change. Altimeter's 3021. Man, that's hard to do. Goodness gracious. I really hope it gets easier. goes from 19 to 29. It's like there's no super sensitive adjustment. I really don't like this at all. I need to see if there's a way to link it. And if this is what the Boeing guys have to do every time they dial in you spend all day sitting here trying to get this altimeter synced. I really don't like this at all. Not at all. But it's the real thing, so anyway. All right, so we're descending out of flight level 200. Tampa traffic, American 751 on a Bullfrog, arrival into Tampa, descending out of flight level 200 for 4,000 for runway 1 left. American 751. Yeah, required to notify you. Sorry, boss. This was actually a last minute thing I wanted to check because we did all of our, guess I should lose the speed brake. We did some final testing yesterday and got the sound dialed in, got the USB isolation set up, so it's looking much, much better now and things are staying connected, and yeah. So this is actually my second flight after the tweaks that we did. So yeah, pretty stoked that everything is, I don't have to worry about that anymore. I can just fly and enjoy the flight. Okay. All right, so we're gonna set this to terrain and him to weather. Not that we have any weather. I don't know where that is coming from. So 126.45. 126.450.
Arrival information, Hotel 0453 Zulu. Westcom. Good. Temperature 16. 2.15. 3019. Contact. U.S. information, Hotel.
Hotel.
Tampa International Airport arrival information, Hotel 0453 Zulu. Westcom. Visibility marker. 2,000 meters. Temperature 16. 2.15. Altimeter 3019. Advise on initial contact. U.S. information, Hotel. Tampa International Airport arrival information, Hotel 0453 Zulu. Westcom. Visibility marker. 2,000 meters. Temperature 16. 2.15. Altimeter 3019. Advise on initial contact. You'll have information, Hotel.
All right, we got information hotel, so that's good. All right. This is the second channel in 2 days that YouTube has recommended with full-on simulators. Are they for sale? No, Igor. This is like brand new. Just got it finally up and running. So no, not for sale. But I can point you where you can buy one. FSC.IT. That's Foxtrot Sierra Charlie India Tango. That's their website. Or send me an email with your information, and I can get you plugged in with them. And then Pat has contacts if you're looking for new or used. I can put you on new, but used, I don't know the market well enough for that. Okay. I'm gonna arm the speed brake. We're good there. Let's get ready to put this baby down. Let's go continuous on the, we never took those off. Where's an FO when you need them? Seatbelts on. Now we'll put these back on continuous. Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how the, I've got auto FPS, and I noticed when I launched auto FPS this morning, there's a newer version. I don't know what's new about that version, but it seems to be doing okay. It's ProSim script causing your FO side alt adjustment. So yeah, I think I can link them in ProSim to where I can just do mine and it does both of them, because otherwise I'm going to get the warning that shows that they're not the same or whatever the verbiage is. Just haven't done that. All right, so we're 16 miles from Jetstream. Speed should be 240 at that, and altitude 5270. Yeah, they're not cheap, Igor. You're looking at a, if you want to get a Porsche 911 turbo, maybe, if that's in your budget, or a Cyber Beast, probably more along what you're looking at. But this is not a, it's not an inexpensive hobby for sure. But my wife loves me. Yeah, marry rich. No, just hard work and good investments. Yeah, Pat, I'm hoping that I can get at least one other pilot here during World Flight. It'd be nice. I don't know if I'm up to the, maybe by November I'll be up to what you and Duncan were doing and being able to manage all of this on your own, but I'm sure it'll get easier over time, getting the streams and all that stuff set up. And Beetlejuice. Nope, it's on the inside of the glass. All right. So lights will be on. Here we go. Auto brake is set. We're at 7,000. Got to be above 4. And let's see. We have no. We'll go. And we'll lose the vector. Cruise, Jetstream. Cruise. That's interesting. It didn't make the connection between cruise. Maybe it'll change after, but it's here, cruise to Lego or Lagu, whatever, and it's there, but it's not making the connection. That's interesting. We'll see what happens after cruise. Yeah, let me know if you can find some 5090s and how much they are. All right, drag required. All right, so let's see what we got here. $26. Well, it didn't make the connection here. It didn't. The magenta line didn't continue, but it looks like it's going for it. So that's really kind of interesting. Approach is hanging on. My carrot's coming down. Lagoo is 26. Okay, it's coming in. All right, I'm gonna arm my speed brake and go manual on the speed because I want to turn this down already. Target speed 160. All right, so autopilot's captured. We have localizer capture, and the glide slope is coming in. We're showing single channel. I love what the mentor pilot was saying, that this stuff is what you hope for. What's in the PFD is what's actually happening. I thought that was some pearls of wisdom there for sure. Okay, so we're gonna get flaps 5 and we're gonna go, we'll hold off on gear down till Selman, 3 miles to go. It is definitely overcast, so I know with that visibility, that seems correct. $170 on the speed. We have flaps 5 set. Flight attendants, be seated for arrival. All right, we have localizer and glide slope capture. Gear down at Selman. Flaps 15. Maybe a little more cabin lighting. Hard to see. That's that. I don't know if I can turn these up a little bit. Is that better? Or too much? Can probably adjust the, I don't know if this is gonna, no, that doesn't really do anything. So probably just need to adjust the camera. But it's basically a whiteout right now, so I can't see anything. All right, 160. we're almost at decel, so we're going to tune down to 140 plus 5, flaps 30, gear down, 3 greens. Final approach, attendance contacted, speed brake is armed, check. Gear 3 greens down, flaps extended. Where are we gonna go when we get here? All right, so we're coming in one right, so I don't know where American Park's over here. I wasn't really thinking about that when I did this flight, so. Should probably be on tower. Tampa traffic, American 751, short final, one right, Tampa. 800. Lights on, continuous. Temperature's 18, so that should be fine. Yeah, the yoke's tracking is pretty amazing. Yeah, it's a pretty nice feeling. All right, well, I'm going to hold this on. I wonder if we could do an auto land. It is a Cat 3. Yeah, I'm starting to see some ground now. 400, wow. 300. It's a Cat 3, so we got 0, 0 down. There's the rabbit. There's the rabbit. Well, that's a different feeling. Well, let's see what she does. Well, that was pretty good. Tampa traffic, American 751 is clear of one right, taxiing to the ramp. Tampa traffic. And there's a gate right there. That looks like a pretty one to stop at. Looks awfully close to the other airplane, but we'll see. Oh, there are 2 planes stacked there. Okay, we got APU, yeah. And let me get some ground power up here. Thank you. Thank you, Pat. Get the lighting. I get the same lighting in cabin. Yeah. Yeah, I tell you what, it's freaking unbelievable. Oh, that was amazing. It really was. All right, you guys. I need to go get my dogs from upstairs, so I'm gonna call this a successful flight and report back to the guys in Italy that everything went well on this flight. Double check a few things, but otherwise, thank you guys for joining me on this on this morning's flight, and sure things will get better as we get more camera angles and things set up. So thank you very much for tuning in. Oh, let's see, what do I want here? I want ground power. There's my ground power. All right, so we're on ground. Kill the, those are all off. Okay. All right, guys. Well, thanks again for joining and tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next flight.